dear.
Sorry.
Do you know when you have children who poke into things they shouldn't? I don't want to surprise anything.
No, we'll come to it. That is something in there that Eamonn's wished he hadn't put his hand in.
I didn't know, and I did.
Anyway,
we'll come back to that.
David's back because we're talking allotments today and how to get an allotment, which we did earlier, and now we're talking compost.
Absolutely. The real essence of success with anything that you grow is all in the soil. And I know we missed out on one of these items. We missed out on a couple of our gadgets because we've got loads of great hints and tips. This is the latest thing. It's actually called the spade thingy. And has been specifically designed, obviously, to aid, certainly when you're digging or using it as a shovel, to help your back. And we thought that was a very... it's really about the positioning. And then I think if you're going down like that and having to lift it all from this part of the body, by having an additional handle on there to brace and to lift, it's using more shoulder muscles than just about...
short handle, though. Makes you do a lot of bending that you wouldn't want to. Do you not need to handle that?
Well, when you've got them like this and you're lifting, it's the back lumbar bit, and it's the way you're twisting your body.
It's not so much the bending, it's the lifting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And you can get forks like this and all sorts of things.
You can get forks like that at all. We thought it was pretty good. But it's all about the soil. And just to give you a little bit of idea, we put them together here. Here's what we call normal, good topsoil that you can buy in, or by cultivating your own soil, you're trying to get it to this sort of like, oh, feel that.
Loamy, fine.
That's lovely, yeah.
Stones.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's got that very...
I'm not touching anything else after what I've been through.
Well, here's one of the favourites, which this is farmyard manure, and anybody who thinks of farmyard manure, they think of cow pats and straw and everything, but it doesn't, no. It's all been rotted down and made into good soil and earth that you can add into your own.
Can we not smell that because the stuff to come is even more pongy? Is that what it is?
Should we talk about that?
This one's a favourite one here because see these little pellets?
Yes.
Organic poultry manure pellets.
That's right. Smell.
No, they do, and they're very high, and they're great to put in because it's pelleted chicken manure, chicken poo, and if you put a scoopful or something like that within a square metre, it really does add a lot into your soil and breaks it. You can see the feathers. Now, here's the real...
the top smeller, and I didn't say seller there, the top smeller.
Well, this is quite a good one. I don't know what you're worried about because all it is, let me just tip it out, it is in fact rhino and elephant poo. I mean,
this is what they call zoo poo.
They call it zoo poo, and there's lots of different ones that don't get away with that.
I can smell it from here.
But you've got...
The elephant house comes home.
It works pretty well like that, and you get that... But it's very high in nitrogen too, and it works. Zoo poo is pretty cool. But really, you're trying to get it into... If you want something really friendly, this is good black gold, this one here. This is soil conditioner, and it breaks down, and you can put it into your other soil to give it a real boost, but it's got nutrients and energy and minerals in there too.
If you get your allotment, should you do a soil test kit? You know, test your soil to start with as soon as you get your allotment to check what needs to go in?
Absolutely, and probably the best one is to put your hand in it.
Right.
Go by structure first. I mean, if it's very clay or stony or whatever, working on the textures are usually a very good start. By adding in soil conditioner, your pelletized or your more raw manure into it, and it breaks it down. Then you can do a little test to identify whether it's acid or lime. And you can buy those little tester things in any garden centre now, and it's a little colour thing.
Do you go to the zoo to get your zoo poo?
Well, you can get. There's a whole variety. It's a fantastic bit of kit there. And have a look there. You've got. There's a variety of different zoos that do this now and sell it, obviously, for charity as well, which works pretty well.
But
this is Colchester Zoo.
Yeah.
The Peyton Zoo do it too.
Pafafa, I can believe that, private nature reserve.
They're raising money to support that one as well, so it works.
So your house, oh my goodness, I've just seen something coming up there.
Well,
talking of
I've got something special for you here. Let me just get my hands in here because these are the worms.
I love worms.
Aren't they beautiful?
I love worms.
No, thanks.
But if you take a little look at those, these are red dendras. Look at them. And they're desperate to get to work. Now these are nature's...
Stop that.
Look at that, isn't that lovely?
I love worms. When I used to dig on my allotment, if I found a worm, I'd put him in my compost bin.
Absolutely, it's the best thing to do by adding. This is a company called Wiggly Wigglers.
So you buy this, literally this bag of
bags
soil with
and
worms.
bags of worms that you can actually put into not only your compost heap but also onto your lawn or into your borders.
And is it true if you cut them in half they grow into 2 worms?
Some of them do, yeah. It depends when you cut. It really depends where the saddlers are. But if you have a look here, loads and loads of worms, and by adding them into your garden or onto your allotment, they do a lot of digging for you and aeration too.
Yeah,
they're well
brilliant.
cool.
They're lovely. Oh, Dad, just
Look at it.
one
There's
over
2 types. The red
there.
dendrons are the surface worms, and they pull in leaves and things into the soil. And lobworms are the lower ones, which are underground and open. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about composting while we're about making your own.
You drop these little worms. I'm just saying, you go
We're
over
saving
there,
them. Yeah, just watch out the seagulls don't come down. Compost bins are about, and you can buy them in most garden centres. But councils will actually subsidise you having a compost bin. So if you contact your local council,
yeah, an excuse not to collect them, of course. Yeah,
well,
they'll be happy to pay for them.
We should be recycling as much as possible too.
Well, you want the bin that we don't have to collect? Lovely, have 2.
Well, this produces your own compost. Some things that you shouldn't put in are just over there. Things like plastic, don't put in. Cooked vegetables, no.
Look at
mutt,
that, I'm sorry.
And beef burgers, any cooked meats,
Please tell me that's a plastic one.
That is a plastic joke one. We've got it. But things, of course, like your peel, your potato peel, it's great in the compost bin. Things like tea bags
now,
are another
good one. I thought you had to take the paper off the tea bags or open them up, do you?
Well, you can rather than the compressing. And I think somebody was asking a question earlier about how to keep cats off their garden or allotment.
Yes.
If you get a tea bag.
This is Michelle Tyers. Morning, Michelle. She said, please, David, how do we keep cats off our garden? We've worked so hard on the garden this year, but the cats come and do their business.
Have you got a shotgun, Michelle? Failing that, what?
A tea bag and a spray of Ralgex or deep heat, and drop them around, and the smell of that stops the cats coming here. But they go in the compost.
So a bit of deep heat on your tea bag and strategically placed them.
Placed in certain areas does that.
Excellent.
But things like eggshells are really good into the compost bin. Things like any of your uncooked vegetables are another good one in the compost. Things like your cut flowers, don't throw them away. They go in there. Even tissue, anything.
Why tissue? Why tissues?
Well, tissue or paper or even cardboard crushed also aerates, so there's not a compaction when you put things like grass in there. You don't get that
Grass, you have to be
compaction.
careful because grass makes it slimy, doesn't it?
It does. And if you're putting grass in, it's not just a slimy. Things also like branches keep an aeration. It's sort of like it opens them out a little bit more, and it works really well. And eventually, as it rots down, you are producing your own compost. It's great fun.
How long would it take for it to rot down?
It really depends. It can be anything from 4 to 6 months to produce, but you can also get in things like compost accelerators that makes the right pH and everything for the nitrogen fixating bacteria to do their work.
Wow, there's the science bit, folks. Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
On this National Allotment Week.
Yes, National Allotment Week indeed. Now, don't go away because we've got all the latest from Sharon Marshall and what's going on in the soaps, and also our Porky Pet Clinic.
Can we bring her up some zoo poo?
See you after the break.
This is a gift.